Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about secondary leading tone chords. So I hope you enjoyed your time, being able to see a chromatic note and thinking, oh, must be a secondary dominant. So now we're going to add a little wrinkle to that. So what we have on the screen is two chords in C major. The first one clearly doesn't belong. The second one hopefully does. Got G, B, D, G, so a 5 chord. So I'm going to play it for you, and you tell me what you hear. So what is the quality of that first chord? It's spooky, right? So it's a fully diminished 7th chord. And when you build it up from the root, you discover that it's F sharp, A, C, and E flat. So if we know that the root's F sharp, then we know that that's the 7th scale degree in some mysterious key. So in this case, it's going to be the 7th scale degree in G major. So this works exactly the same way as secondary dominants. We're borrowing the 7 diminished 7 chord from one of the diatonic keys, often 5. So here we're just going to write 7 diminished 7 of 5 and be done with it. Just like with secondary dominants, a lot of the time the chord that comes after it is a big clue about where you need to start looking to see which leading tone it is. Okay, so let's look at this second one here. So we're looking for 7 diminished 7 of 4. So again, the first thing that we have to do is say, okay, well, what is 4 in D major? The answer is G major. So these actually might be even a little easier than secondary dominants to write, as long as you've got the concept. So if we know that G major is a 4 chord, then we just look 1/2 step below that to find the leading tone, right? So we need the 7 diminished 7 chord built on F sharp, which ironically is the one that we just had there. So we're just going to build that up. So we've got the F sharp. We'll just use the same voicing since we know it works. Make sure your accidentals are correct. Okay, so there we have F sharp, A, C natural, and E flat, and those resolve just like any other 7 diminished chord. So the root of the chord's a leading tone, it wants to go up, so it's going to come there. The 7th of the chord is going to want to come down, so that E flat is going to want to come down to D. The 3rd of the chord can kind of do what it needs to. In this case I had it go down because I didn't want to double the leading tone. Because 4 isn't leading tone material in D major, it could go up or down. I'll have it come down for the sake of consistency. And then that C, making the tritone with the F sharp, really wants to resolve in. Okay, so give this a try. Do G minor, 7 diminished 6/5 of 5. Figure out what 5 is, take that leading tone, and then build the chord from there. Okay, so 5 in G minor is D major. So the leading tone of D major is C sharp, and this is 6/5. So the E natural needs to be in the bass. So let's put the E natural in the bass. I'll put the C sharp up here. Oops. C sharp, E, and then G, and then B flat. So let's make sure that's correct. Sounds like a fully diminished 7th chord. And then we're just going to resolve that to the 5 chord. So I'll resolve it to 5/6 just for fun. Make sure that it's an F sharp, because we always want that major 5 chord in minor. Let's see, the leading tone wants to go up. The 7th of the chord wants to come down. Oops. And then we'll take that one up, so we don't double the leading tone. Okay, so that's really all there is. Figure out if you're trying to look at them. It's often helpful to play them and actually hear that it's a diminished chord. But then look to the chord afterwards and use that as the starting point for trying to figure out what this is 7 diminished of. If you have to write them, then think about what the chord is. So 4 is G major in D major. Then take a 1/2 step down and build your 7 diminished chord off that note. Okay,